Good evening aspirants, welcome to daily newspaper analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy. Today's date is 27th March 2025. These are the four topics we are going to discuss in this video. The first topic is about the effects of domestic migration in India. The second one is about the cow slaughter bans, the recent ban on cow slaughter by Maharashtra government. The third one is about Tirzepatide, which is a new obesity and diabetes drug introduced in India. The fourth topic is about anti-defection law. So these are the important topics we are going to discuss in this video. Now let us get into the discussion. Here we are going to discuss about the effects of domestic migration in India. See, people in India move from one state to another in search of better jobs, higher wages and for a better life. So this is called domestic migration, that is movement of people from one state to another inside India. Recently, State Bank of India released a report regarding this domestic migration, and this report found that many workers are moving from low income states to high income states. So from states like Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, people are moving to Kerala and Tamil Nadu. This movement affects many things like inflation, the demand for goods and also the entire economy. This also affects both the states from which they migrate and also the states in which they settle. So both the sending and receiving states are affected by this domestic migration. So in the light of the recent report of SBI, let us discuss about the effects of this domestic migration in India. See, when the workers move from low income states to high income states, they start earning more money, which means it increases their purchasing power. So this means they can buy more goods and services, and this leads to higher demand in the local economy. As more people are buying, the prices of goods also goes up. So this eventually causes inflation. So this is seen in the states like Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Because of this large number of migrants settling there, the inflation levels have risen up in those states. The recent SBI report has found that inflation rates are different across India. For example, the southern and eastern states have higher inflation compared to northeastern and western states. These northeastern and western states have lower inflation. So only the southern and eastern states are experiencing very high inflation. Even though there is a decline in inflation in southern and eastern states after pandemic, the rate of increase in inflation is very high compared to the western states. Now, what is the impact of domestic migration on economy? Migration has both good and bad effects. For example, the workers earn more and they spend more. So this increases demand and in turn increases the circular economy or increases the productivity of the economy. More demand can lead to higher prices and thereby it may cause higher inflation. Due to migration from other states into states like Tamil Nadu and Kerala, the local business may grow, but the housing, food and transport cost might increase. So this means that the states like Kerala and Tamil Nadu should have better planning to manage their resources, and also they have to keep the inflation under control. The rural inflation is higher than the urban inflation. This is because of food prices. In rural areas, the food makes up 54% of their total expense. But in cities, the food makes up only 36% of total expense. As the food prices are increasing, the people in rural areas are affected more than the people in urban areas. The SBI report also found that the state taxes play a big role in inflation. Southern states have higher taxes on petrol, diesel, liquor. For this, there is an increase in cost. So this means that the state policies can directly affect the cost of living for people. So this is all about this effects of domestic migration on economy, on fiscal policy and on inflation. Now we are going to discuss about the legality of cow slaughter bans in India. There are always debates about the cow slaughter bans in India, and these debates have resurfaced because Maharashtra decided to use the Maharashtra Control of Organized Crime Act against the repeated offenders in cow slaughter cases. See, this cow slaughter case is a deeply linked issue to India's constitution, state laws, Supreme Court and also to the religious and economic consideration. Some states have strict laws regarding cow slaughter, while some states have regulated beef trade. So this makes a complex and controversial issue throughout India. So in this context, let us discuss about the constitutional provisions regarding the cow slaughter bans and about the Supreme Court rulings and what are the challenges regarding this cow slaughter ban. Under DPSP Article 48, this article directs the states to take steps to prohibit the slaughter of cows. So this is to improve the agriculture and animal husbandry. Under the entry list 15 of the state list, which is under Schedule 7, the state legislature have exclusive power to make laws regarding the preservation and production of cattle. So this entry 15 of the state list under 7th schedule gives power to the state governments to make laws regarding the production and preservation of cattle. This also includes the ban on cow slaughter. So this 7th schedule and DPSP article 48 talks about the cow slaughter ban. Now look at this slide. These are the important state laws regarding the cow slaughter. Bihar Preservation and Improvement of Animals Act 1955. This act prohibits the slaughter of cows and regulates the slaughter of other animals also. Maharashtra Animal Preservation Act of 1976. This act imposes strict penalties for cow slaughter and also prohibits the sale of cows and consumption of beef. Karnataka Prevention of Slaughter and Preservation of Cattle Act 2020. This act bans the slaughter of cows, bulls, bullocks and even buffaloes if they are under 13 years of age. Some states like Kerala, West Bengal and some northeastern states have relaxed laws and they allow beef consumption. So these are varying laws across various regions regarding the cow slaughter. Now let us see the Supreme Court rulings on cow slaughter. In the landmark case of Muhammad Hanif Qureshi versus State of Bihar, the Supreme Court has observed that the slaughter of cows of useful cattle like breeding bulls and working bullocks, they can be banned. It means the court upheld the ban on the slaughter of useful cattle, and court also said that it was a reasonable restriction for agricultural and economic reasons. So in this case, the court upheld the cow slaughter ban. The court also ruled that the slaughter of unproductive cattle cannot be banned. So it only protected the productive cattle. That means the slaughter of productive cattle can be banned, but the slaughter of unproductive cattle cannot be banned. So this is what the Supreme Court said in this case. So here the Supreme Court shifted the focus from religious sentiments to economic considerations. It also stated that the cow production was primarily for economic benefits rather than religious reasons. So this was true indeed. Also on the issue of freedom of religion, Article 25, the court ruled that the cow slaughter is not an essential religious practice. So cow slaughter can be restricted for greater public interest. Under Article 19, the Supreme Court held that the ban on cow slaughter is a reasonable restriction in the interest of general public. So these are the observations made by Supreme Court. Now let us see the challenges regarding the implementation of cow slaughter ban. The first challenge is defining the useful and useless cattle. As we seen earlier, the Supreme Court has said that the cow slaughter can be done for unproductive cattle and it can be banned for productive cattle. But who decides it is a productive cattle or unproductive cattle? That is, who decides it is a useful or useless cattle? So this definition is a major challenge in cow slaughter ban. There is no clear definition of when a cattle becomes useless and can be slaughtered. So this is a major problem. The next one is economic burden on farmers. The farmers struggle to maintain old and unproductive cattle. So it also leads to issues like stray cattle menace. As I said earlier, there are various laws across various states. So the transport of cattle and beef from one state to another creates many legal problems. This is because the cattle which are taken for slaughter and it is moved to another state where there are strict cow slaughter ban, then the farmers may face the legal and enforcement problems. So this interstate beef trade or varying laws across various states also creates the transport of cows a difficult and a major issue. The next important challenge is religious and social tensions. Cow slaughter bans have communal and political dimension. So this also leads to social unrest and sometimes mob violence. The ban on cow slaughter affects the butchers, the leather industries, meat exporters and also the cattle traders. So this ban on cow slaughter will impact all their livelihoods. So these are the major challenges in implementing the cow slaughter ban. So in this discussion we have seen the constitutional provisions regarding the cow slaughter ban, what are the Supreme Court observations on this cow slaughter, and what are the challenges in implementing the cow slaughter ban. So with this, let us conclude the discussion. Look at this MCQ. Under which schedule and entry of Indian Constitution do states have exclusive power to regulate the cattle preservation? The correct answer is option A, state list entry 15 under 7th schedule. Here we are going to discuss about Tirzepatide. This is a new diabetes and weight loss drug introduced in India. Eli Lilly, which is a multinational pharmaceutical company, has officially launched this drug in India. This drug is considered a major breakthrough in the treatment of type 2 diabetes and obesity. So this is the first significant medicine to enter the Indian market to treat the type 2 diabetes and obesity. See, India is witnessing a rapid rise in diabetes and obesity cases, and this drug has potential to bring many changes in managing these diseases. So in this context, let us look at the basics of this. Tirzepatide is a weekly injectable medicine which helps in blood sugar regulation and significant weight loss. It is also approved by Central Drug Standard Control Organization. This Central Drug Standard Control Organization is India's drug regulatory authority. So any drug which has to be authorized and enter into India, this Central Drug Standard Control Organization should have to approve it. So this is the leading drug regulatory authority of India. Now why is this Tirzepatide medicine is very unique? This is because it mimics two key hormones in our bodies. One is glucagon-like peptide 1, that is GLP-1, and gastric inhibitory polypeptide, that is GIP. So this drug mimics these two hormones in our body, and these hormones play an important role in regulating the blood sugar level. So this drug which acts as these hormones in turn regulates the blood sugar level. This Tirzepatide is superior to Ozempic drug. This Ozempic drug is also a diabetes drug which targets only GLP-1, but this Tirzepatide is superior to this earlier Ozempic drug and it targets two hormones. So this makes Tirzepatide very effective in lowering the blood sugar level and also promoting the weight loss. But this medicine also has various side effects like all other medication. The side effects are mostly related to the digestion. It may cause nausea, vomiting, diarrhea or acid reflux. So this also has side effects, and this introduction of Tirzepatide is very relevant for India because there is an increase in cases of diabetes and obesity in India. According to International Diabetes Federation, the number of diabetes cases in India is expected to increase from 74 million in 2021 to 124 million by 2045. The government survey also says that 24% of women and 23% of men are overweight or obese. So this is the status of obesity and diabetes in India. So in this scenario, the introduction of Tirzepatide drug is a great promise in helping millions of Indians to manage the diabetes and obesity. With this, let us conclude the discussion. Let us see a MCQ related to this topic. Bisphenol A cause of concern, is a structural component in the manufacture of which of the following kind of plastics? The correct answer is option B, polycarbonate. So bisphenol A, that is BPA plastic, is used in the production of polycarbonate plastics which are water bottles, flasks, etc. So these are some important chemical names and which may be seen in the news and it may appear in the prelims exam. So we have to note that what is the name and what is its use or applications, and just we know the basics of the chemical names. Here we are going to discuss about the Anti-Defection law. Supreme Court of India is currently examining the effectiveness of Anti-Defection law and also the timeline of speakers to decide on the disqualification petition. So this issue has sparked discussions on the effectiveness and the implementation of Anti-Defection law, because this law plays a crucial role in maintaining the stability of governments. So in this context, let us discuss about the basics of Anti-Defection law. See, Anti-Defection law was introduced in 1985 by 52nd Amendment. It was added to 10th schedule of the Constitution. The primary purpose is to curb the political defections. So this is by ensuring that legislatures remain loyal to the party from which they are elected. This law applies both to the parliament and also to the state assemblies, and it gives power to the presiding officer, that is the speaker or chairman, to decide on the disqualification on the grounds of defection. So the deciding authority of disqualification is a presiding officer, which may be speaker or chairman. So this law applies both to the parliament and also to the state legislatures. The Anti-Defection law has several grounds for disqualification. The legislature can be disqualified if they voluntarily give up their party membership or disobey the party whip. For example, if they abstain from voting or voted against the party's direction, then it means they have disobeyed the party whip, and this is one of the grounds for disqualification. Additionally, the nominated members who join a political party after 6 months, they can be disqualified. And also the independent candidates who later align with the political party also face disqualification. So these are the 4 important grounds based on which the disqualification petition is filed to the speaker. This anti-defection law also includes an exception. If at least 2/3 of the party legislatures agree to merge with another party, then this is not considered as a disqualification. If few members or one member decided to join another party or betray their party, then it is disqualification. But if 2/3 of the party members decided to shift to the another party, then it may not be considered as disqualification. So this is an exception for this law. One of the major concerns regarding the anti-defection law is the lack of time limit for the speaker to decide on this disqualification petition. So there is no time limit for speaker on when to disqualify or to decide on the disqualification petition. So this has led to cases where speakers delay decisions. Sometimes they also benefit from the ruling party. Even though the presiding officer's decision is considered final, it is subject to judicial review. So this is an important point. The deciding authority, the final authority to decide on the disqualification is the presiding officer, either speaker or chairman. But his decision is subject to judicial review, which means it can be intervened in the court if it violates a constitutional principle or natural justice. So this is an important point, please note that. Now we shall look about the key cases regarding the disqualification. The most important one is Kihoto Hollohan case. In this case, the Supreme Court held that the speaker's decision is subject to judicial review. The next one is Keisha Meghchandra Singh case. In this case, the court emphasizes that speakers cannot indefinitely delay the decisions. So the speakers have to make a decision on the disqualification petition at some time, within a considerable amount of time or a reasonable time. So they cannot sit indefinitely on the petitions. So these are the 2 important cases regarding this anti-defection law. With this, let us conclude the discussion. Let us discuss an MCQ related to this topic. Consider the following statements. The anti-defection law allows the speaker to take final decision regarding disqualification. Yes, this statement is correct. The Supreme Court has ruled that speaker's decision is not subject to judicial review. No, it is subject to judicial review, and this is said in Kihoto Hollohan case. So the correct answer is option A, 1 only. With this, we have come to the end of the discussion. If you like the video, please share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.